All right, afternoon, everyone. We're getting ready to do another race here. Already set my weight. 157.8. That's what I weighed in this morning. Change up the bike and wheels real quick. Sticking with the Specialized Venge and the Zip 808 wheels. Today's race can be a little different. It's called the Gotham Grind. It's 3 laps around Central Park in New York. Did an abbreviated warm-up. With no fans. It's a little bit cooler today, but not quite as cool as yesterday. Grab another drink here. Already got the shoes tightened up. See if we can get you a weather update real quick in 10 seconds. 70 degrees, feels like 70 degrees. All right, we're off. Never done this race. Looks like all the categories in this together. Not really a fan of that style. Patience. Right turn ahead. There's a 10% kicker coming up here. Just like all of our other workouts up to this point are nice and easy. Provide the chance to adjust the lower level of activity. You're here in the country of Chile, just across the border. We're in supported from Tiny Baptist Park, both a large national preserve here in the area of Patagonia. We're headed towards what's known as the valley. The valley goes so it's the valley French. Talk about this before we get going with that. Yeah. So all of this area was anciently inhabited by the Philippines tribes. It was then eventually colonized by Spanish, but people that got most of the recognition early on were foreigners from other European countries. So there were Italian, there were British, there were French, Germans, and there were lots of different areas within this specific region of Patagonia are named after these different expeditions that people came from different countries to find them. Specifically, late 1950s, lots of different expeditions came out here to try to scale they were seeing off in the distance those huge granite spires which capped with darker sedimentary rock. To be able to take it off of that and keep it along the Zwift towards the valley. So right now, just focus even your effort, trying to keep the intensity or something like intensity. 1, 4, 1. All right, just do the pressure. So 1 to 4 out of 10. All right, let's do this exercise. There, feel for that. That's the same intensity as also the same intensity for the extra supplementary work that I classified. So these 3 kilo workouts, bench workout, speed workout, rest, 3 other workouts. 10 kilos after 30. Loaded this means that was all so light intensity 1 out of 4 out of 10. Okay. Multiply that in this case, light intensity 6.77, and that's the upper limit of the heart rate. workout. Jogging, hiking, cycling, swimming, really working and putting in time and effort, not specifically the actual activity. Alright, guys. So what we're going to do is run for right around 45 minutes. Then we're going to go into 4 times 15 seconds drive. Just simply increase the speed. So it's not quite as quick. We would start, say, a 5K or 10K. So start out, it's not this huge vertical movement. It's just starting at a good pace, building up, as soon as that takes right around 5 seconds, and then slowly easing out of that. So we don't want any crazy fast movements. We just want to ease into a good pace and then ease out of that. We'll hold that. The goal of this is around 15 seconds. So then we'll have right around 45 seconds, another routine that, and do that again. 4 of them like that. 3 times do that. Not so much to do a specific road position, but more to train our bodies, neuromuscular, nervous system, right that keeps the muscle, help us learn how to be efficient, not waste a lot of energy, and specifically efficient when we're running fast. So that'll make us less injury prone. It'll help expose different tissues to stress. Helpful to stress the body for that gap. These are stresses that our body is going to adapt constantly to respond to that. Feeling stress is a little bit like our body's recovery interval, so that share those tissues and that lead up to the strength of the body. After we've recovered, go to work again. Stretch a little more. Stop. Go out. Stretch one reasonable. And then that's down to the knee level position. You can keep going slowly. Week after week. Slow progress. I'll talk about this. The key to all of this. Stay consistent. Grow better. 4, 5, 50 Short, fast, hard intervals with equal duration. There's no way to strength workout. Sometimes workout, lactate, lactic acid, accumulate muscle response, extraneous activity. The body typically reuptakes it and uses it within one of the rest systems, but too much for a body to be able to absorb and start to bog it down a little bit. So by working out any specific time periods, activities that we talked about, what it will do is allow our body to become more efficient. Not stronger, faster, workout, more durable, more successful, whenever academic start to load or active stress workout. And stress workouts will be easy to get right around 1 to 4 at the top ceiling intensity in terms of a rate of fatigue scale, the bear scales, and these are extended. The corresponding heart rate is also like that, under 77%. So it's basically the only way you can do these workouts wrong is if you're running too fast. You can't solve the possibility too slow on you. It's that trust the process perspective. What do you think? It seems counterintuitive, but you put the time in, trust the process, put a promise. In between these, there are some low stress as well. There's the ones that are light intensity. As I find most important, there's like 3 other light intensity, aerobic level type workouts, which are up to you in terms of what you're doing. So these fill in those pillars. You can think of it like fleshing out a skeletal system. You have infrastructure, you go around it, you can keep these additional workouts thoroughly. And I would highly recommend taking a full day of recovery, that allows the body to recover that solidly, helps you completed nutrient and resources that you need. It allows more structure systems that cover, so as long as the muscles and tendons and ligaments, all of these different connective tissues need a chance to recover injury. Injury is the biggest threat to us so typical lack of motivation keeps us from reaching our goals. It's injury to be running through having this proper training because you don't allow the body to adapt to what you can do. You can only let them do. All right, we got this over halfway. Firework. Yeah, right around 30. Right now, two down, one to go. There's a group of four chasing me. That's the front. Coming off that loop on the left, just passing me. Over a little over a mile and a half in front of me. A group of four is catching me now. If we do some work right around moderate intensity or sitting moderate intensity, typically moderate intensity drag at 7 on a rate of 4 scale. That's up to around 85%. It's very annoying. This guy dropped. Currently, he's the only other C anywhere nearby. There's another group about 6 or 7 seconds behind us. And then if we go into high intensity, we're at around 9 out of 10. We're able to do the scale. That's between 59 and 95 and plus heart rate. So that's kind of the upper limit. If we're doing things like our giving back to teamwork, we're pushing it to that upper limit. So, you know, it's one of those things that you gotta trust. You gotta put it to work. So we're going to do it in a structured way that will make sense. There's an opportunity between. So make sure that I remember every time today to make sure it's easy enough so that you can participate hard enough. All of us in the process. Thank you. If you need some other cues, you know how to talk about basic. or that. You want to use like breathing practice, during the light speed, or kind of what you're doing, like a warm up, cool down, cover intervals, as well as endurance runs and supplementary road programs. You should be able to really keep those without so it's running, breathing. That doesn't mean you need to I never do it, but the supplement, one is just to engage like here, check it out, basically, very hard to it's a little bit harder than conversational things, but very feel sensitive to typically that's what I found. Water intensity is high intensity. You're having that effort. After a couple of minutes, you should be able to so breathe about as far as you can after a couple of minutes. Typically, it's a combination of all three. Thinking carefully, thinking about breathing, and also thinking third out to keep your heart rate. So right now, I'm headed further towards the valley. And that's going to take, so next valley, bottom going left. This up here is what's known as tiny anomaly. So tiny is the word again. Move properly because of the project takes the way towards not making large. This point of that mountain is 3 seconds that goes up. It's small. When you put body work there, the rivers or the feet are still hard to reach from. Body work there, the area where it's roots hard to see. And they just from it mountain and because all of them actually died. And so that was kind of the honor of that group. Guys off to the right, where the two of you got scared. The scared running over the square that is formed. And so there's a model that's the right up and ran in place for minutes. So now I'm talking about the rubber granite and red and red and brown. And I'm talking about this black and right. What we're able to see there is millions of years of geological activity. So granite is molten rock formed in these cracks that are rises up, and then the black stone is up above. That's sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rock is softer than the granite and below it. And so what happens is, at a million years, it cracks in the plate snow and ice and water and everything erodes away pieces of that top layer. What's left is these huge sand monoliths. So you see those different areas right here. You can see that process. Now eventually dry. Just like you're starting 5K race or 10K race. So it's not an off sprint. You're starting out, lifting up to a good pace. We're going to pull back to right around 5 to 6 seconds. Depending on how to train it and stuff, doesn't really matter. So you're trying to work out to a quick intensity, moving your legs quickly, arms moving forward and backwards, generating forward momentum, trying to make rotational momentum. What we're doing is teaching our body how to move effectively, affecting our nervous system, our muscular system, everything working constantly. So we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Go ahead, these are quick. So they're over almost right after we start. Push up to a strong pace. Moving forward. 3, 2, 1, and go back. So like I said, those are quick. Solid goals quick. Working up a solid pace. This is individual for everybody, so whatever feels like the part of the intensity or pace to the start, 5K or 10K race. We want to minimize any rapid sudden changes, so easing into these and also easing out of them. So you don't want to come to a sudden stop. You want to just slowly ease out. We're going to start the next one. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Alright, down at nice and follow. Allow your body to expand so that your lungs can fully take in as much oxygen as possible. Arms moving forward and backwards. Drive your knees. 2, 1, and go. So we're only going to show them 40 seconds per opportunity. That's why, it's not very much time to recover. We're not trying to really tax any of our movement systems. The interval is really short. It's 15 seconds. I would slowly use the line recovery component, and the whole focus is really good. And then we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Number 3. Three, 2, 1, done. Alright, so back into that recovery. Okay, we got one more of these. Right, don't need to go crazy on it, just keep this thing back, same speed, more intensity as you other. It's not by pushing the whatever your balance in a single effort that you're going to gain fitness and build strength. Typically all that happens is you can do yourself. Just slowly building, a bit at a time. Alright, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go back. One more. In the same speed as before. Focus on the light, smooth, efficient, forward momentum. And 3, 2, 1, and great work. I'm finishing out that workout. Stick with me just a little longer. Check out this Asian view. Highly grounded. That's what we're talking about. There's this incredible hanging glacier that we're going to see in the background. And then the river, all that water runs around. Make sure you take advantage. Recover as well as you can. Take in any fluids that you need, as well as combination of carbohydrates and protein over the next 45 minutes. Okay, that sounds good. Absolutely. The great work on this endurance workout. Guys, next time we're going to come back and we're going to do a high intensity VO2 max workout. That was top 10. I promise you're going to love it. I'll see you guys. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What's a D doing up there? 9, 10, looks like I might be 11. We'll check the official results here in a second. All right, we'll shave this away. Definitely chilling down. Screen to go black on you here for a second. Get the game going again. right, we'll go to London. Do a couple laps of this very flat section in downtown London. I need to get some of these fans turned off. I'm gonna freeze to death. Yeah, in my tall gear still. So it looks like that was an out of saddle sprint and almost my largest gear. I just got a glimpse of it before I started shifting, but might have only had 2 more gears to go. So it's maybe 50-13, something like that. All right. Get into a nice rhythm here. Unplug my ears. My ears always plug up, especially my right one plugs up when I do these events. And so I checked out Google because Google knows everything. And I think it was WebMD said that they was talking about like lifting weights, type of exertion, that if you're not breathing, that your, I don't remember what it's called, estuarian tube or something. The one that tries to create balance, I think from your throat, something like that. Not a physician, can you tell? Anyway, that that'll get plugged. There'll be too much pressure, one direction, not the other, and it's the same thing that causes your ears to plug when you're changing elevations. So I thought, well, okay, that's not exactly what I'm doing, although maybe sprint at the end is more like it, I don't know. But then another article went into more detail just with regard to breathing in general. And I could see that maybe being more the cause. Let me loosen my shoes real quick here. Okay. So now I can open my jersey back up a little bit. Turns all my fans off. You can still hear some fans. It's my wife's fans next to me. Okay. Let's see how I placed. So, again, you can see that the race had the A's, B's, C's, and D's all on the ride together. I'm not a fan of races when they put on like that. So yeah, I counted 11 I came in 11th out of 60 for the C's.
What's up, you guys? Hi, fit trainer John Field here.
Looking to see.
Or whichever workout it may be around the world.
I can't find a total.
So I'm going to show you a few different stretches off the sheet that are going to help you to remember to help you actually to keep you on track in the process. So, this is just important. Smile, you tell your workout, now time to stretch.
Looks like I average 3 watts per kilogram. The one guy you saw finishing right in front of me, and the guy you saw finish right behind me. The guy in the orange jersey that I dropped, and he picked up the A, the B, and the D. They were coming up behind him. And when I got gapped on that last climb, so that's too bad. Because again, I jumped down and caught the C's that came up behind me. But the guy in the orange jersey, the finish in front of me, was racing with guys that weren't even in our race. So again, that's why part of why I don't really like that way of putting on a race.
So from right there, after you shake that off, what I want to do.
I mean, part of it's racing, but so now you're with guys that are able to put in a bigger effort than you. So as long as you can strategize correctly, you can finish in a faster time, farther up on your ranking, because a higher level racer gave you a free ride. But I did like the fact that there were no power-ups on that race. Every time we went under the start-finish banner, all we got was an experience point power-up. So it was a true race in that fashion because there was no the game portion of the game was not there. Right, in real life you don't get a power-up, so.
I want you to take the right elbow, drop it into that. So your left elbow dropping your left inner foot, and now instead of that dynamic wall, we're moving our take back forward, we're just going to stick and hold. Remember, we're not bouncing. You don't want so much pressure.
Anyway, in that sense, I like that kind of race when it's a true, there's no power-ups involved. But because it does make it more realistic. And you take advantage of all the physics of the game, but you're not bringing in the gamesmanship of the game or the gamification of the game. So the other thing that would have made that better is if the C's were all racing together. Not saying it would have finished any better, maybe it would have finished worse. But there was a pretty good chunks of C's that were in that front group. I could see them early on with all the A's and B's. So they were riding with guys above their caliber. And again, I mean, they had to put in the work to get there, and they had to put in the continual work to stay there. But in my mind, that either means you're not a C if you can do that work, or you're able to jump at the beginning and then get in and get in this train of a bunch of people doing work, higher level work for you. 6% I might actually take advantage of this, a little bit of a climb, push a bigger gear, stretch out my legs a little bit.
Grab the shin, pull your head down, and slowly lift your way up. Go all the way to those toes if you can. If you can't, progression, stay consistent with this, we'll eventually get there. 3, 2, 1, relax. Okay, so now from there, we're going to stay down. I want you to come up on your foot. Left side, right above the right knee. We're going to slowly into it, open up that hip. Work on that glutes and just stick and hold.
All right, so 3 laps. Come out of the starting pens, made a right. I've actually never been in those starting pens before. Ridden past them lots of times. Ridden on all those roads we rode today. But never in a race. And
there's nothing worse than you wake up, your hips are locked, you feel like you can't open up that gate, you can't stride.
so we came out, made a right, hit the start finish banner, downhill, up to the right, up over the kind of cobblestone bridge, through to the left, go into the sprint. It's like a, some in there is like a 3 to 5% rise. Undulation a little bit. Come back around. So where we made a right, we went under the start finish. We went down, then went up, and then veered right. So that's here. Now we're coming in from the left. So we went in this big loop, coming back on the same course, and now we're going right this way. We're doing this big figure 8. So once we do that circle, we come back, make a right, kind of a false flat section, mostly flat, but there's some undulation. Seemed like every single lap right in there, people were kind of making their move. Maybe they were just trying to get to the front, so that when the hill came, they could drift back. But it seemed like the pressure built right in there every single lap. There'd be before the climb, there's like a little mid climb, just like 3 or 4% climb. It's not long, but it's almost like you can't see it coming. You can see a little bit, but not much. And then all of a sudden the pressure builds because you are going uphill, and then it levels off a bit. Then you make the right up to the 10% climb. Everyone spreads out. I think I did a pretty good job of keeping the pressure on for that climb. I think all 3 laps I actually moved up along the climb, but I knew on a 10% climb I couldn't stay in my big chain ring, so I was spinning up a low gear, making up way, making up ground on people, and then 9%, 8%, 7% each time I was grabbing another gear. But at some point, I'm still in my small chain ring, and so I needed to go to my big chain ring, and every single time I did that, I found that I would lose a little bit of momentum, and it was enough where I'd put in enough work, heart rate was climbing during the climb, and I'd wind up gapping. Not on the climb, but after we reached the top of the climb. And so a bunch of us gapped we were all in that front group. Well, the group we were in wasn't really the front group because the A's and B's were up there somewhere. Some of the C's were with them. The group I was with, put it that way, we were we broke apart on that climb. There was maybe a third of the people went away, got out the front, back 2/3 stayed together, and everyone came back together again somewhere just before we hit the starting pen along the start-finish line straight away. So it took the rest of that lap almost to bring that group back together. I was concerned about that because that meant that on the last lap, assuming everything just stays the same, on that last lap, if it happened again like that, we wouldn't catch them because that last lap, the hammer would go down and they'd be traveling at a higher speed. Well, as it turned out, it didn't matter. Don't remember exactly how the rest of it played out. I remember that second climb, gap, the same spot, but instead of letting it go, didn't give up, dug deep, and actually caught the back of that group before the next little bit of it's the big climb and then a slight downhill and then another slight uphill. And so I caught the back of that group by that slight uphill again. And so I was glad that I didn't give up there. And that was where that guy with the orange jersey, he was in that group somewhere. I think somewhere in there must have been some more gaps for him because I remember it was he might have been behind me somewhere. And I was watching, all of a sudden he was coming up quick. And so I think he must have gapped off the back. So I remember is that he was coming up quick. He'd been sitting back there like a good distance, and all of a sudden he started catching me with someone else. And so what happened is someone else came up behind him. So the guy in the orange jersey jumped on his wheel. Well, I saw them coming. I accelerated. Jumped on the third guy's wheel. The orange guy couldn't hang. He fell out. And I tried to stay with this third guy for a while. He was on a time trial frame. So he can't draft off of me, but I can draft off of him. So I tried to stay with him for a while. And that put gap between me and the orange guy. And he kept shrinking across the bottom there. Once it hits 50 meters, it stops giving you a distance. And then you can just watch the time. And I had well over 5 seconds. And then it was like 7 seconds. So what happened is then 3 more people caught him. There's an A, a B, and a D. He formed the C, so you had all 4 represented. And they came by. I tried to jump on their wheel. rode with them for a while. The guy there in Jersey kept disappearing and reappearing. Might have been having internet issues. And only 5 miles, let's call it good. Anyway, got to that third climb and I got yapped again. I never saw I could see him up ahead, but I never caught the orange guy again. I think he finished like 12 seconds ahead of me. And there was, I think it was 3 more C's that came by. One of them took off and never saw him again. And 2 more, the other 2 guys, one I'm finishing with, one right in front of me that was sprinting behind, and then one that you didn't see that was right behind me that was sprinting for me. So anyway, I mean, all in all, good race. It was different. It was different because it wasn't the crit course. More like a real life race. I guess the crit course is too, but more like a road race. Again, it was more like real life because there were no power-ups, but not like real life because all 4 categories were racing together. And that's not how races are put on.
Oh, it got colder.
Yep. All right. Well, that's just because you need to work out some more. You need to warm up. My daughter came out to do some running. Her and my wife are swapping off on the treadmill. All right. With that, anyway, it was a good race. I'm not sure what I did or didn't learn on that one. I say I always learn something, but I have to think back on what it was I learned on that one. Anyway, if you like the video, hit that thumbs up. If you want to be notified every time I do a race, which is mostly what I publish anymore, or any sort of ride, hit that subscribe button. It'll give you notification. And otherwise, keep Zwifting. I will see you in the virtual world.